So apparently during the pandemic, I heard or read this somewhere, I don't know if it's true, it sounds like it is, that the sales of luxury, like designer stuff, like Gucci handbags, crap like that, the sales of that type of stuff was like record highs, which I'm not sure if it's true, but it sounds like something that would happen in the United States. And I don't actually think that all poor people do this. I think that just most people in the US, middle class, poor people, even pretty wealthy people, do this. They waste a lot of their money. A lot of people, no matter how much money they make, they still seem to manage to just spend it all and live paycheck to paycheck. Or, most people, and I'm guilty of this too, everyone is, the more money you make, usually the more junk you get, or the more luxury you come into. You end up getting a bigger house that you can barely afford. Maybe you had an apartment before you could barely afford, you get a bigger salary, then you get a bigger apartment that you can still barely afford, and you really don't have any extra income. And you see this stuff promoted a lot in especially like rap and stuff promotes it a lot, or just a lot of just media, social media. They're promoting stuff like Lamborghinis, Rolexes, stuff like this. I used to live in a pretty ghetto area in the hood. You'd see a lot of people that have like food stamps, and they're buying stuff like soda with the food stamps from the grocery store, like big packs of soda. Or they're buying like a lot of marijuana. And I don't want to talk down on the people. It's not their fault. I think a lot of it is an addiction too. I think especially too if you're living in poverty or you have emotional issues, I know at least I've been there, that it's really hard not to use drugs or to buy things that make you feel better for a short period of time. And it's actually pretty sad. I mean, I've been there too. I've racked up credit card debt in the past. It took me many years to really get my emotions handled and figure out how to be good with my money. Hold on, I just need to cross the street here. I'm 36 years old now, and honestly I think it really took me until like a year ago or 2 years ago or something until I just really had a handle on my emotions more and could just kind of stop buying junk, maybe even up until a year ago. It's really, really difficult. Your emotions will hold you back a lot, but I really just want to hammer this into people's minds. Even if you're making a ton of money, like, don't buy stuff like Rolexes, fancy cars, just buy a cheap car in cash. The problem is that your brain will trick you, the media will trick you into thinking that this stuff will make you happy when really it doesn't. It doesn't make you happy at all. All it does is give you a hit of emotions, like a bit of a rush for a very short period of time. Something like a fancy car is fun. You feel cool and validated when you have it, when you get it. But after it wears off and gets old, the effect wears off anyway. And really, what kind of car you're driving really is not gonna make that much of a difference in how content you are long term in your life. Basically, it's gonna make no difference at all. I just watched a video that Grant Cardone did on YouTube about how to not pay taxes. He's a famous, wealthy billionaire. He has a lot of videos giving advice and stuff. He's probably written books too. I'm not sure. You can check out his videos. But one big thing he was saying, he was using an example of someone that's like a professional ball player, like a baseball player. Someone that has a lot of money. Maybe they're making like $2 million a year. He was saying, first of all, like half of that is going to go to taxes if you're living, especially if you're living in a state like New York or California. It has high income, it has high state income taxes. And you're paying like half of that to taxes. And he was saying, at least in the first few years, saying don't buy a house, don't buy bullshit. And he used that word, I think. He swore, don't buy Rolexes, don't go out and buy a Ferrari what you do is take as much extra money as you can and you spend it on assets. He was using real estate as an example. He was saying you do that, then you save all the money on taxes, and then in the future you're getting more and more passive income, and then you can just keep building up your real estate portfolio and just keep getting more passive income, more of a net worth. And then, you know, if you're an athlete, obviously you're gonna have to retire pretty early because your body's gonna wear down, and then you can have income still coming in. But I really just want people to take away from this video, like, try not to buy like luxury junk that you don't need. Try to live below your means, and even if you're not an entrepreneur and want to like start a business with your money or buy real estate or assets, at least just save your money and, you know, put it into like something like the stock market or CDs or something to try and fight inflation with it. Another thing I liked, a quote that somebody wrote in the comments below the Grant Cardone video, is that poor people spend money on stuff like they're rich. Rich people spend like they're poor or live like they're poor, and they spend all their money on assets. I think this is another comment somebody wrote in the same video, is that you know, most like working class people, they spend most of their money on living expenses, while wealthy people, they spend most of their income on buying assets.